Okay, so good morning. We're here today with Mona Uli from Back on Track. She's going to talk a little bit about her program and what she does in American Samoa and how we can connect that with our families of individuals with developmental disabilities. Okay, so good morning, Mona.
Morning. Hi, Sandy.
Hi. Okay.
I just want to share. My name is Mona Uli. I'm the executive director and founder of Back on Track American Samoa. We've been in existence since 2016. And the way I started this, the way it came about was that I was working at the Alliance. We were mainly doing awareness and education, but I wanted to get more involved in advocacy to help people. And so our vision statement is to improve quality of life through health, wellness, and well-being in our Ainga and community. And our mission statement is working together to promote equity, human dignity, justice, and peace, fostering cultural, holistic wellness, restorative justice, and social change as a way to help communities heal and thrive. And so I love the work that we do. I do it part-time, and we're all volunteers here from the community. And yeah, my day job, I'm a paralegal at the American Samoa Legal Aid. And so, yeah, doing what we can to help with change here in our community.
Okay. I noticed that like the vision statement says to improve quality of life through health, wellness, and well-being. But you do a lot more than that that helps all dive into this vision statement. So maybe you want to share a little bit about your Jessica's place, maybe.
Okay, so as a victim advocate for domestic violence and sexual assault, um, I wanted a place that was safe, where a safe space for victims to walk into. And I wanted it where they can get support, meet with an advocate, meet with their attorney, or get resources and have access to computers uh, and so on. And so I also wanted a place that was close to the courthouse. So we found a place here at Teddy's of Samoa building, and I love this location. And the way we came about with the name was there was a victim who was murdered by her estranged husband, um, set on fire, hit with a sledgehammer and set on fire. And it was such a horrific case that gave me the chills. And I wanted that to be remembered. Sometimes people think, oh, domestic violence, why didn't she just leave? But it's so much more than that. And so I wanted people to know how serious domestic violence can be. So that's how we came about with the name for Jessica's Place. I met with her mom and her family and asked for their permission to name our office, our domestic violence sexual assault resource office, Jessica's Place. And so they gave us their blessing, and that's how we came about with this space here at Teddy's of Samoa.
And so you work with anyone at that office who may be uh, what do I want to say, victims or need help with sexual or domestic violence, right? Yeah. So it's
Yeah,
like a safe place to be able to go, just to have someone to talk to, get a little support, encouragement, maybe some, plans on how to try to correct the situation or to get help if they need that. And you're able to guide
yeah,
them, right? Yeah. Okay.
yeah. We also provide offer support groups and recovery programs here, and yeah, place where someone can come in and meet with other people and get the support they need, which is what I have found is lacking. When we help victims get a civil protection order. And what I have found is that when a person is on their own, they're more likely to withdraw because the pressure is just too much. But when they have a support system, an advocate supporting them, um, they're more likely to go through with it. But just realizing how important support is for these victim survivors when they're going through the process of divorce or civil protection orders, etc.
Do you also
And so,
work with
uh,
do you also work with the aggressive person, like the one that might be causing the domestic violence or whatever? Do you have programs or able to work with someone, say they know that they're screwing up at home and they don't like the path that they're taking?
yeah, so we also work with the abusive person. We offer batterer intervention program or recovery programs, wellness and recovery programs, etc. And because I believe that's the best way to end the violence is to help the perpetrator um, not to be abusive.
Mhm. That's great. Yeah. What are some of the programs you have? You do have Alcoholics Anonymous, is that right?
Yeah, so we offer there is a AA program that meets in this office. So we try to do our recovery programs on the weekends, Fridays and Saturdays. And so we'll offer we have a group that runs AA out of this office. And I do Celebrate Recovery, which is a Christ-centered 12-step program. And it's not just, Celebrate Recovery is not just for drugs and alcohol, it's for any kind of hurt, habit, or hang up, um, which can be anything. So any person can come to this program and get support. And it's the same principles. And so I love the 12-step program because it's about me taking responsibility for me and the things that I go through. And I just want to share how I came about Celebrate Recovery, the 12-step program. And so I'm from San Francisco, and we did a lot of outreach in the streets, and I saw people coming back the same all the time, no change. And so I just said a little prayer. I said, Lord, I want the gift of healing and the gift of teaching so that I could better help people. And and so I came across Celebrate Recovery, the 12-step program, and then I led my first facilitated my first meeting, and it was so powerful. And you could have heard a pin drop, but you're speaking hope to the hopeless and people that have their head down in shame. You're letting them know that God loves them and that it's not too late. And you see them start to sit up a little more and a little more and hold their head up. And after the end of my meeting, I just said thank you prayer to God, and I said thank you for this opportunity. But Lord, I wanted the gift of healing, like you lay hands on people and they get healed.
Hmm.
And God said, this is the kind of healing that's needed, inner healing.
Mhm.
And I was like, wow. And so that told me that there's so many people walking around with hurts and trauma and not knowing what to do with it. So these programs are about healing. And I just wanted to share that because I think it's powerful.
Yeah, that's really important to remember too, because a lot of times when we think of healing, we think of the external, and we don't
Uh-huh.
remember that there is a great deal of internal healing that is can be even far more disabling than a physical disability, right? Right.
Yeah. And I just want to share that people are, well, why don't you just do domestic violence and sexual assault? Why are you doing addiction and recovery and better intervention? And I said, because it all works together. It's all connected. And I love this work. Also, I'm a recovered meth user from, my early days. And so I have this lived experience and I just want to help people. And But, one trend that I have seen in 2024 is that probably 90% of the victims that came in for protection orders had the same story, which was my partner is a meth user, he's paranoid, he's accusational, he's violent, it was the same story. And so, being able to help people on both ends is very important, offering it to both people, but also knowing how to keep confidentiality at the same time.
Mhm. Okay, so we have been working on a project together just to kind of swing this around to our developmental disability group. Um, how you talked about how all this stuff goes together, and it really does. And one project that Back on Track and PCSN has been working on together is with the Comprehensive Substance Abuse Council, and we're putting together right now a video that hopefully will be shown in several parts of the island regarding drug exposure to babies prenatally. And how when we have a young woman who's been, gotten addicted to drugs and now they find themselves pregnant, they can't get off the drugs, um, and the effects that it can actually have on the child, which can be lifelong. And those lifelong effects can also lead to a lot of stress and can actually lead into the domestic violence that you're talking about. Just because of that exposure, prenatally that could have been prevented. So with this program that we're doing together and with all the programs you have too, we're hoping that young women who are pregnant and maybe using drugs or even alcohol and even certain over-the-counter drugs, that it can actually affect the child. Child could end up with a lifelong disability that you are now going to be caring for and can lead to a lot of stress. So hopefully we can reach people to help to stop it at the preventable point. And that's where these programs are sort of coming together.
Mhm. So I want our office, I want these young mothers who are who find out that they're pregnant and they've been using meth. I know they're afraid to go see a doctor, but I want them to know that this is a place where you can come and get support, and we'll go with you to your appointment and help you to, because I know it's hard and people can be, yeah, afraid, but to know that we do have advocacy where we're willing to go with you and support you through that process of um, getting your prenatal appointments started and so on.
Great. Okay. Up here on two, I see on your Facebook page, it says we're a trauma-informed care organization. Can you just explain a little bit what trauma-informed care is?
So it's very important to me to train everybody that comes into this office, every staff person, every volunteer about trauma-informed care because um, hurt people. And so we want to accept people where they are, no judgment. And yeah, it's just about training and educating people about that we all have our trauma and our issues, but that we need to support people that come into this place and not be judgmental.
Exactly. So the staff then are informed about trauma, or maybe they've had gone through the same experiences themselves and come through it. And from the other side, they can look back and help people who are just going through it now. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's great. Did you want to show your Facebook page a little bit here? I've got it on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got Back on Track. You can find it on the Facebook page, and you have like a monthly newsletter. See that?
Yeah. So this is our April newsletter. April is Sexual Assault Awareness Month. So I did page one, just about the updates on what we're doing. Um, we do have some of our volunteer staff. Uh, we have Betta, who's helping us with as a sexual assault program coordinator. We have Val Tuilifano, who's assisting us as a domestic violence program coordinator. Val has experience with the first coalition, that domestic violence coalition that started here in American Samoa. And so he has a lot of experience with the work of domestic violence prevention. And Betta, she's amazing. She has Betta's international, and she's a women's activist. Yeah. And then we did some, we, I called, there was a need here to help with the building. And so I was able to call on anyone who's available on Saturdays, and we all came out together and helped to build a room on a house that was needed by a family. And so that was exciting. Thankful to our volunteers.
Mhm.
On the right side, I taught of the newsletter, the page 2, it was important for me to share about sexual assault here in American Samoa. And I
Very
like the theme, which is together we act, united we change. And so I just shared little bit about rape culture and how we can dismantle rape culture here in American Samoa.
Mhm. And it just goes down. You post your newsletters and any activities or things that are going on, right? Yeah, there's a good one
Uh-huh.
with meth. So okay, so yeah, so this is here. Oh, you have Narcotics Anonymous is in Hawaii. Do we have a Narcotics Anonymous locally, or is it just included with the AA program?
It's included with the AA program. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. What we're also starting is uh, codependency group for parents and families and loved ones of people struggling with addiction. So I have a lot of parents approaching me, how do I support my adult child with their meth use? And also I've been doing some protection orders. That's the trend I'm seeing this year, is a lot of parents are coming in for protection orders against their child who's a meth user, who's violent, who stole the car or who broke this. And so it's just so sad to see, but just inviting them to these codependency groups to come together and let's, support each other and share, and just letting them know that they're not alone and that what can we do to, support each other.
Right. Do you have a phone number? I don't see it over here on the intro page, or maybe on the
Yeah, my
maybe. There's
my phone number is oh, okay, I gotta add that on. 684-272-3213. And our number here at Jessica's place is 633-2222.
633-2222. That's easy. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'll actually, yeah, I can add this. Okay, that's great. Anything else?
Yeah, what we're getting started is what we want to try out is what we call Wellness Fridays. And so every Friday, starting next week, every Friday we'll be having ongoing programs throughout the day. Like one thing that we really promote is wellness. And so letting people know that you can build your list of wellness tools, which and not limit they're not limited. And so I share with people that wellness tools can be something, anything that helps you feel better. They can be things that you already do or things that you wanted to do. And so when you're feeling down, when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling triggered or tempted, instead of resorting to your old negative coping skills, you can reach into your wellness toolbox. And so my way of coping could be, a gallon of ice cream and lay around and watch Netflix. That was my old coping skill. But now that I have my list of wellness tools, I'm able to pick out more positive things that I can do. So what I've been doing lately is I'll go for walks when I need a wellness tool or when I'm feeling down, or I'll play basketball. I was asking myself, why do I have to stop playing basketball? When I was growing up, I was uh, active. So now I play basketball and I enjoy it. It's fun. Another new one I have is Polynesian dancing. And so I just love these wellness tools that I have on my list. And last week I was going through some things, feeling overwhelmed, and I just pulled out some wellness tools to do. They can also be, gardening, cooking, playing an instrument, um, anything. Your list will be different from my list. And so that's where we came up with Wellness Fridays. Let's just offer some activities that people can do throughout the day. So in the morning, we have, because we have a basketball court and a volleyball court right outside our window here at Teddy's. We're going to start the mornings with like recreational activities, whether it's volleyball, basketball, walking, etc. After that is our Polynesian dance class, which is a impact exercise. It could be hula or Siva Samoa, etc. After that, we have our wellness recovery action plan class. Um, and so which is called rap. And every class I do, I started out by teaching rap. And then we have our 12-step recovery group. And then after that, there's our health and fitness coach, Chris Patu, who offers exercise classes. So yeah, we're trying to just offer the community different programs that they can get involved with. Just asking people to call me to register so that we know how many people to plan for. So yeah, again, my number is 272-3213.
Or the 6332222. So is that going to be held right down there at Teddy's at
Yeah, uh-huh.
and I mean, okay, so let me just throw this out there. Is it on the marketplace side of Teddy's?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay, I was gonna say because there is like no parking in Teddy's. So, but over on the marketplace, there might be a little more
Yeah,
or more parking available. People need to
yeah.
park.
That's where I park at, yeah, by the playground.
And what time is it starting? You're planning on this, not today, but next week, right?
Yeah.
When?
Um, yeah, so starting it off like at 7 o'clock. So I'm trying to also
Yep.
let it be open to the people in this building who we sit at our desks all day long,
Mhm,
to know
mhm,
that you can come outside and, for an hour play basketball or volleyball and,
mhm.
just get our bodies moving.
So it'll be starting at 7 a.m. at Teddy's on Fridays, and you'll probably post that on here, right? In your newsletter.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So that information will be there. Um, well, that sounds really like a lot of fun.
Yeah. And if anybody, wants to get involved and teach a class, a hula or a dancer, anything, an instrument, we can add that on. So yeah, asking the community anything that you'd like to share, let me know.
And yeah, so it'd be a great place. I think I'd like to bring our kids, PCSN kids down. Yeah,
Yeah.
families that have children with disabilities. This might be just an awesome, family activity.
Uh-huh.
It can't be understated about how much, well, exercise for one thing, just can eliminate stress. If you're feeling a lot of stress, just a quick, even if it's just a quick 1 minute break, of doing some exercise, the release of endorphins to help you relax and then music also, is another
Yes.
so wonderful. The right music, it has to be the right music, something that's encouraging
Yeah.
and positive, encouraging music like Kayla, but not something that's aggressive and angry, but something that can help too. And music is a great way in calming too. combining the two, yeah, exercise. So that's
Yeah, so the center of all our programs, whether it's addiction or whether it's victim advocacy or is wellness. And so sharing the wellness recovery action plan with everybody is important because it's tools that we can all use for our wellness.
so when you do the Wellness Fridays, when you do when you're talking about the toolbox that you get, is that like when you're doing the wrap session where you're sitting down and you're
Yeah,
talking and helping them try to identify what is a good coping mechanism for them, for each person individually?
yeah,
Yeah,
uh-huh.
yeah, good.
And knowing that it's not limited, every time I think of more things that I want to do, I just add it to my list. So the list is ongoing.
Yeah, yeah. Exciting things to help you choose over the ice cream and Netflix.
Yeah.
So
And not to limit yourself because I'm 60 years old and I'm playing basketball and dancing Polynesian. So I love it.
that's so cool. Nice. Okay. Well, there's a lot of great stuff there and for everybody, and I don't think there's anybody that can say that they have absolutely never been affected by domestic violence in some form.
Mm,
Somebody has either experienced it themselves or they know someone who has, or a family member that they know needs help. We've all been affected some way or another and know that this is an important area
mm,
that needs to be addressed to give people, like you said, these tools to choose to help de-escalate themselves, and make it a more
mm.
positive environment. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you said too earlier, this is not something either that we can just do on our own. We need the help
Mhm.
of God. We need the help of other people in our lives to help us.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah.
we can't be isolated.
Isolate, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. Okay. Anything else? It's good.
Yeah, so yeah, just please check it out, our Wellness Fridays.
Mhm. So again, the phone number is 272-3213. If you want to sign up for any programs or you want to get more information or help, also the 633-2222 for Jessica's Place, which is at Teddy's of Samoa. Nice centrally located too. That's great.
Yeah.
Then this Facebook page, which is Back on Track, American Samoa. There's a lot of back on tracks out there, so make sure you add the American Samoa to get any recent updates.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Mona. I'm
Thank you
just
so
going
much.
to, I'm going to just
Yeah.
stop the recording.
Oh, oh, can I add one more thing? I
Oh,
forgot to
yes,
mention.
yes, go right ahead.
So we have kicked off our Triple R program, which is recovery, reentry, and prison reform.
Nice.
We're doing programs in the wellness and recovery at the TCF, and we're seeing a lot of needs and also trying to build up our programs, bringing sober living homes and residential treatment centers for addiction here in American Samoa. And so we're going to start doing fundraising. And so just asking people to keep an eye out for our upcoming fundraising events.
Mhm. That's
Thank you.
that's a great program. I think you're probably the only one doing that, right? I mean, recovery is important. Reentry is really vital, especially the longer a person has been, in the prison system, and
Mm,
then trying to get back out into, especially a society here where everybody knows you. You're not going to go and hide anywhere,
yeah.
and you might have to deal with an awful lot of feelings when you get out, and you
Um,
might feel limited or unable to find work. So this program here, the reentry is very helpful.
yeah.
Um,
And you'd be really surprised at the number of people that have gone in and out of the
mhm,
TCF. And because that's why we need to provide support so that they don't return.
yeah, yeah, that's a great program. Okay, and then you also help families of inmates too, right? You work with families.
Yeah, that's one thing we want to talk to the director of corrections or the warden is, bringing family, having family days for people in there, like the women, having a day where the children can come and just spend time with their moms and have a day of activities.
Hmm.
You really have to boost the morale because the morale in there is so low. And so, when people have incentive, and hope,
Hmm.
that'll really help them. Yeah.
Yeah, the family bond is so important. If that family bond gets broken, then the
Yeah.
hope just, goes straight down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the impact on the kids, what the kids are going through, but to be able to have time with their mom who they miss,
Hmm.
yeah, is so important.
Okay. And then any families that are feeling a lot of stress can contact you for some of these support groups as well too, to,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I want to talk to them about how can we bring it there is a little store, for inmates to be able to purchase needs, things that they need. And so I think that's very much needed, as well as a little library and computer center.
I don't have any, yeah, I know they're limited in what they can put in there, but yeah, they don't even have
Yeah.
books or, yeah, there's a lot. We can talk about that later. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot that can go on. Okay, yeah. But the reentry is really nice. Okay.
Yeah, there was I didn't meet him, but there's one, um I don't know his name, but one person that when he was in there, I guess he spent a lot of time reading and stuff. And when he came out, he, used what he learned in there and, became a professor or something like that, I was
Wow.
told. But I go on a lot of, I have a lot of webinars that I go to. And so there's one that I was on recently where the guy was in prison in the States and um, was able to get 3 degrees while he was incarcerated.
Wow.
So when he came out, he got a job instantly working with, but that's how you combat recidivism is by, helping people to build some skills so that they don't have to return to that,
Right.
whatever it was that got them in there.
Mm.
But okay, I'm babbling, sorry.
That's okay. No, that's another whole nother area that we need to address too. So, but anyway, yes, very good stuff we shared here today. I'm really happy that we got this in. And okay, and we're going to stop here now, and I'm going to
Thank you, Sandy.